What's going on, beautiful people? It's your boy, Up, aka Whit, coming at you guys with the third and final California Bicycle Racing 7 of 7 category 3-4 Masters event. This was my third race of the day. It was like 4:15 when this race went down. K&J Racing pushed all the races back roughly about 2 hours, and we are underway. Thank you again for clicking this video. Thank you for your time. I thank all the new subscribers. Welcome to the family. Thank you for hitting that subscribe button. I ask that you all would get your beverage of choice, get your snacks, get comfortable. And if you're on an indoor trainer, if you're on the Peloton, if you're on the Nordic track, if you're on some type of stationary bike, I ask that you would hunker in. I pray you got your water bottles filled with filled with some type of electrolytes, and you are hunkered in and ready to get it in. Hey, this video is just over, I believe, 38 minutes long. So just to let you know in the beginning, because that's how we roll. So right now we have our on lap number 1, and we have gone through turn number 1, just went through turn number 2, and I am currently sitting on Jeff's wheel of DNA or D9 Foundation. Sitting on his wheel right now. In front of me, 229, and then just to our right, number 209. That is Seth of Hit Squad. This is Kelly Boone, passing her right there, and then we just passed Ramen, number 236. I'm currently sitting on all-time favorite, a good buddy, a good pal of mine, Peter Verth. He is number 218, the breakaway attempt specialist. This guy, as you see right now, he's going for it. So I'm going to tuck in underneath Brian Uno, who is rocking that beautiful gold jersey, which states that he is the Masters 3-4 leader right now. And you will see later on in the race the green jersey, which is worn by Indy, who's also rolling with Serious Cycling. Brian Uno right here is rolling with Team Redlands, and the race is underway. So we're going through turn number 4 now, as we are going to complete 1 lap. That's Dimitri right there, number 230, of pretty much the founder of the D9 Foundation. And so we are now completing 1 lap. So as you guys know, I usually say the first few laps, the race really is taking its shape, taking its form, and yeah, that's what's going on right now. You guys see in the bottom left of the screen my cadence, my speed, my heart rate, and my power, as well as you see John sitting on my rear with Dustin Benedict back there and Wes Morgan. Right now I'm sitting on Nazaret's wheel. Right now I see Nazaret at a lot of the races, and I'm currently sitting on his wheel enjoying the draft as he sits behind Kevin. So I'm going underneath. Here's Indy right here of Serious Cycling. I went underneath them, came up on Indy's wheel, and now I'm going to ride Indy's wheel for a little bit as we have just gone through turn number 2, making our way to turn number 3. I believe up there in the white helmet with the SC VELO, that is Ronnie Chalk. He's also in contention for the gold jersey. So you're going to see him making certain moves, trying to go for bar points throughout the course of this race, because again, he's trying to beat out Brian Uno for that gold jersey. We got Jake Wells going underneath. He's rolling with Cal Bike with that black, and then the split with the lime green and black kit. And one thing I've shared with some of my friends, with a lot of companies out here, if you notice with the customization of kits, what are designers doing? And what they're doing a lot of times is they will put all their fancy colors or any high visibility stripes, or like Rafa, their single stripe is on the left side. The logo on the pants is usually a different color on the left side. And the reason that's for is because, again, being here in the United States, as you all know, we roll with traffic. So therefore, cars are passing us on our left sides. So usually our left side of our kits are high vis, or they're flamboyant of some sort, so that the operators of the vehicles can pick us out and see us. So we're safe. And that's kind of something that you will learn and probably even know and gather from the Rob Dollar Foundation, which I talked about, I believe, in the first of these three commentated videos, which was the CBR 707 405 race. If you haven't seen those commentaries, please go check that out. That was the CBR 405 and the CBR 7 Cat 4 race. So go check those out. Right now I'm sitting on Byron's wheel as we're still tucked in behind or next to Indy. We got Nazareth right there, and we're just, again, I'm trying to stay out of the wind as much as I possibly can because your boy is a big one. I'm a big boy, so I got to stay out the wind the best of my ability. In this race as well, I believe I mentioned in other races, but in this race specifically, Ronnie Chalk was giving me some in-race coaching. He would tell me to move up. I think he just told me to go up, so you're going to see me now make up, go up past a few people. I'm going to come up here behind Peter Verth. I'm going to tuck back in. And one thing you will notice is that DNA or D9 Foundation had a lot of riders in this race. They had well over 6 riders in this race today, and I believe it was because it was the finale, and D9 really went in for the men and women's pro race at the end of the day here on July 7th. So right now I'm sitting next to Jake Wells. This is again Jake to my right, number 238, coming up on Kyle Cooper right here. And then I am sitting behind 205. 205 is Byron. So currently sitting on Byron's wheel, and we're making our way through turn number 4 to complete this course. You see in my rear camera, Ronnie Chalk is back there. You see Kyle Cooper. You see Jake Wells. I believe you see Indy back there, and you see Kevin coming up as well. So just sometimes I want to call attention to the rear camera, just so that you're not so mesmerized by what's going on in front of us, but you can also see what's going on behind us, because what goes on behind us is just as important as what's taking place in front of us. So right now I'm sitting on 207's wheel, that's Nicholas, and then in front of Nicholas, 232, that's Stephen Brown. If you all saw my vlogger video of California bicycle racing 7 of 7 event in Dominguez Hill, California, you would have saw right before this particular race, I called Stephen Brown out by name. This is him right in front of me. We have Dustin Benedict to my left, and then we have Kevin to my right. But 232 right in front of me, that is Stephen Brown. Stephen Brown won the Open 3-4 race, and he has been crushing the game. He knows when to jump. He knows when to go. He stays to the front. He races solo, so he's not on any team. And so this guy is very tactful and very smart when it comes to where to be, how to get there, how to stay there, and he knows when to hit it. You got Furman coming right there over the top, number 2 team with Sirius Cycling. Sirius Cycling has about 1 billion different type of kits, so you really got to be eyes open and cognizant of Sirius Cycling, because they will show up with 20,000 different kits on and you will be confused. But Stephen Brown is a great person to follow, a great person just to even get to know. So if you see him at a race, holler at him, just like Ronnie Chalk, who's sitting behind me, and any of these other racers whom I'm currently racing with. You know, this community is beautiful. I'm really thankful to have been accepted as I have, to be a part of the CBR family, to be a part of the Majestic Cycling family, to be a part of the community as a whole here in SoCal, and I'm just loving it. So right now I'm sitting on Dustin Benedict's wheel. He's hammering it out, and then he kind of sits up on me, so I have to close this gap, which was not ideal for me, but I'm coming up on Byron's wheel. You see me not putting out too much wattage, was just over 120 watts. Now I'm coasting, but you can see my heart rate is elevated. Again, my max heart rate right now, ladies and gentlemen, is I believe 202 beats per minute. And so when I get to roughly about 185, maybe even low 190s, I'm really starting to plateau in my fitness by sustaining whatever watts I'm pushing out, and just holding on for dear life, hoping that the Peloton will eventually slow down so that I can catch a breather and bring that heart rate back down. So as you see right now, my heart rate is dropping. It went from, you know, high 170s, now it's into 160s. And again, as you all know, what is it? Absolutely. If your boy is in the 160 range, I am pretty much recovering. And you see I went to 160. Ronnie Chalk said move up. I moved up, came up behind Furman, and now I'm tucking in. Furman moved over to the right a little bit, so now I see Brian Uno in front of me next to Kevin, and I know this is a good spot. And look at Peter Verth, he's going for it again. Ronnie Chalk jumps on that, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the vid, that Ronnie Chalk is going for bar preem points so that he can be in contention with Brian Uno, who is currently sitting in front of me. So right now in the rear camera, you see John, and you see Furman, you see Byron, and you also had Indy back there. So right now, coming over the top of Big Orange, trying to stay on, hanging on with dear life. See, I'm hitting over 600, 700 watts, just trying to stay on Brian Uno's wheel because this is a preem lap. And you saw Peter Verth go up, Ronnie Chalk jumped on that to try to get these points to be in contention for this gold jersey. So I'm just trying to hunker in, staying here, staying relevant, staying present in this race. I'm probably top 10, top 15 in this race right now. And yes, you see how I was over 700 watts. My heart rate, you know, even being that high in wattage, my heart rate is still doing pretty good. So I'm very appreciative of my trainer, of my coach, the person who has reached out to me for about a year, just over a year now, who has helped me gain better fitness to be able to be active and be present in these races and not off the back thinking about getting off my bike and watching the race. So I am very appreciative of Jeff. So thank you so much for everything that you've done for me. So you see Nazareth, you see Byron, you see Furman, they're all coming up now. If you look at the rear camera, we're starting to flare out again. And simply two things to know in racing. One, if it is a streamline or a pace line, as we like to call it, that means typically that the pace is high, the tempo is up, and we're all in. We're going, we're hammering, we're in our big gears, and we're going after it. When you see and then two, when you see the peloton swell, that means that the pace has slowed down and there's a reshuffle going on, meaning that the people up front don't want to pull anymore or don't want to be up there. So you have this mass influx of people be in the same area because nobody wants to pull. And then sometimes what you will have is you will have somebody that's coming up from behind that's still carrying their momentum, and they will bolt past that build up of riders, and now you have a breakaway off the front. So those are the two main things to watch out for. Watch out for those surges, and also to be just watchful for the pace lines that may happen. And when it does surge in that manner, be watching for somebody who's antsy and ready to go, don't want to hit their brakes, hence no brakes. They will go right past that group, and then next you know, you'll find us in a split stream again, pace lining, hammering it, trying to bring that person back because nobody wanted to be up front. So right now you see me by Kevin. You see 211 is Kevin, 218 is Peter Verth. Green jersey right there, that's Indy. The blue kit, SC VELO, that is Ronnie Chalk. The big orange kit, that big old orange kit up there, number 228, which is Mississippi area code, that is Wes Morgan. Here to my left, I believe that's Jeff with D9 Foundation. And again, up there in the Dare kit, that's Nazareth. So behind me, we have John, we have Dustin Benedict. We also have back there Irvin with Breakaway Cycling. I'm not sure who this brother's name is behind me in the 2019 Bahati Foundation kit presented to you all by LEO. That is a very nice kit. If you have not seen the 2019 Bahati Foundation kit, I ask that you will go and check out the Bahati Foundation on Instagram or on Facebook. Check out that kit. That LEO kit is very, very nice, and I applaud the Bahati Foundation. I applaud Bahati and everybody that had a hand in designing that kit with that blue to lime green fade. That thing is gorgeous. Kudos, Strava kudos to each one of you who had a part of that. And I enjoy that kit, and if I could get my hands on one, hint, hint, if somebody knows something, let your boy know down in the comment section below. With that being said, if you are watching this video for the first time, and some of you all who have watched the millionth commentation from your boy, you know what I'm about to say. If you are watching this and you have not yet subscribed to the Road Runner family, I ask that you would hit that subscribe button, the red button. If you're watching it on your phone in the vertical position, you should still be able to see that subscribe button. Hit that, and welcome to the family. If you're watching it on your computer or whatever in the horizontal position, if you look over to the right side of your screen, there should be a little CritWit logo. I ask that you would hover your cursor over that, or go over there with your finger or something of some sort, and you should see an opportunity hovering over my logo, the CritWit logo, hovering over that, you should be able to subscribe that way as well. If you have subscribed, what you're subscribing to is simply a journey of CritWit, Garnett Whitmire, going from nobody to somebody and wanting to share the experience of life behind bars, impacting communities, reshaping lives. So as you guys also saw, as I was yapping my mouth about subscribing, you saw that again coming through turn number 4 to the finish line, there was another gap and your boy was having to chase. I'm kind of still closing up this gap right now. So a few times or a couple times already in this race, you see that I've been caught in a non-ideal situation to where you see me chasing the group, getting back on, as you see right now. So went around Dustin Benedict again, caught up to him, went around him, just past Kevin, chasing down Kyle Cooper as we're coming up on Seth and Wes and Furman and John, all these people, this influx of people, Nazareth, Stephen Brown, Nicholas, Daniel. We got an influx of people right here, and no one, and everybody's trying to figure out who's going to take the lead, and then it's streamlined. And I believe what happened right here was I can't remember his name, but he rides for Subaru, and this guy did Ride Across America as a solo and has like the world record for soloing from California to somewhere over there in Maryland. Indianapolis. This dude, or Annapolis, he went from California to Annapolis, Maryland, solo, and has like the record. Amazing. So he's going through the processes of USA Cycling, but he's crushing the game. He's like Peter, or he's a breakaway magician. He just knows when to do it and how to do it. So right now you see me sitting by Furman, which again, that's one of their serious cycling kits. I'm sitting behind John. He's sitting behind Peter Verse. We got Steve Brown right there in the different colored kit, skin suit. We had Nicholas pulling up. We have different people making moves. And this is Byron right here. So we all are making moves and getting in position. You see we're coming underneath Kyle Cooper. And again, just trying to stay in the draft as much as I can. And as you all saw earlier, I've been out chasing wheels down because gaps were left in front of me. I could hold up and hopefully somebody will come around me and fill those gaps, which may happen later on in this race. But sometimes you can't bet on that. So you have to be willing to close the gap down so that you can get back in the draft and that you can recover. All right, so we just went through turn number 2, excuse me, and now I'm getting tucked back in and we're riding. So again, sitting behind D9 Foundation. We got Seth coming up on the outside right there, 209, and we're just making our way. I got Big Orange right here, and again, just tucking back in, seeing what happens, coming to a turn, so you got to be very careful of what line you take, because cornering can be dangerous if you don't have the right line and you do something that is not safe. You can clip your pedal on the ground, go down. So we got Daniel right here of SBW, South Bay Wilman, going up. You got Furman chasing that down. So what do? I'm coming up. I'm coming up because you see here there's just a little bit of a lull right there. So I come up. We got Big Ben. Big Ben is a big breakaway guy right here with Hit Squad. That's Big Ben. And just come up. We got Ryan Vault right here, 219. So again, you see there's a gap in front of me. We got Nazareth right there. So look, again, turn 4 to finish line. This is the 3rd time in this race already, and we're like halfway in this race. We're just over halfway in. We're 18 minutes in, and this is the 3rd time coming through the start finish. Around turn 4, there's a gap in front of your boy C-Dub. So now there's a gap. Thank God Ronnie Chalk comes up because it gave me a little bit of hope that I wouldn't have to close such a big gap. But then we had Nicholas come up. I believe that's Nicholas come up, and he allowed me to be able to jump on the wheel, and I didn't have to work so hard to close that down. I want to say that's 226 or 226. 226 is Monty. So not Nicholas, but Monty. Thank you, Monty, for coming up. That allowed me to jump on your wheel and was able to tow me back to the group. So you see Kelly Boone going on the outside. You see Dustin Benedict following her. 227 is Irvin of Breakaway Cycling. Again, you see the gold jersey. That's Brian Uno, who is currently in the lead of this series. And again, ladies and gentlemen, this is the last 30 plus 3-4 race of the CBR series. So of course, Brian Uno wants to finish this race in the lead, and his teammate, which is 219, which was Ryan Voth, they are working together to keep Brian in that jersey. So right now you see me sitting on Dustin Benedict's wheel, just now passing Nazareth, and I'm coming up on the outside. We're rolling up on Kelly Boone's wheel, and we're just making our way. Again, trying to stay in the draft, and drafting is something of a skill. Just because you're behind somebody doesn't mean you're drafting. You really have to be mindful of where the wind is blowing, and you have to then use their body or another rider's body to block the wind as much as possible. If you are on the opposite side of where the wind is blowing, using their body as a shield, that is drafting. So if you're behind somebody and the wind is blowing from your left to the right, that's not drafting. You have to be to that person's right if the wind is blowing from the left, so forth and so on. Additionally, if you are bigger than the person in front of you, then you're probably not getting a good draft. You can say you're drafting, your bike appreciates it, but you probably don't, because your body is still catching a lot of that wind in your chest area. Hence, Ya Boi seat up. I'm a big dude, so when I get behind small guys, like if I jump behind Nazareth right here, 235, I'm probably not going to get too much of a good draft. But if I jump behind Byron right here, 205, I will get a fantastic draft. Not calling him out, but he's just a larger guy. Or even Ben, which is in front of him. So if you get some big guys in front of each, lined up in front of you, that's going to create a larger air pocket where you can slide underneath and have a good draft. So hopefully that all makes sense about drafting and everything. So right now, sitting on Byron's wheel as we're coming through turn number 3, and we are actually now on to our way to turn number 2, and on our way to turn number 3. So you saw again how the peloton just swelled, and then there was a kind of a quick reshuffle. Sometimes people don't know which line to take, or two individuals will take two separate lines, causing the peloton to go two separate ways. But hey, you got to pick your wheel, pick your line, and make it happen. So just past Daniel of SBW, currently sitting on Kevin's wheel. We got Nazareth 235 coming up on the outside. Kevin kind of comes over and pinches him just a little bit, so I come underneath to move back up a few spaces. And one thing that you guys have heard me say before, and I've heard this from the famous and the pro Rashan Bahati, if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. So right now I'm currently sitting on Ben's wheel as we got Daniel coming back up. We got Kevin and Nazareth on the outside. We got Peter Verth right there. As we're coming up to turn number 4, we got Furman coming on the outside. Rear camera, we have Wes Morgan. We have Irvin and Breakaway Cycling. We also got Kelly back there. And I believe I have Jake Wells to my left, or right behind. Actually, Jake Wells is now in the rear camera. So just went through the start finish again. Ladies and gentlemen, we are about 20 or almost 23 minutes into the video, just over 12 minutes left to go. Again, thank you for your time, for sitting here, listening to me commentate this video. I really enjoy the commentation. I really enjoy being able to speak with you. And I'm looking forward to what 2020 commentated videos brings and presents to you guys. I got some ideas, I got some tricks up my sleeve, and I'm excited to do something different for the commentated videos for next season. So right now we're still getting in. Again, coming up on Byron's wheel, we got Kelly Boone right there to the left. So again, you see two DNA or D9 Foundation riders right here. We got Kevin right there, 211, and we're coming through turn number 2 as we progress again on our way to turn number 3. That's Ronnie Chalk right there with the SC VELO kit to the far right, and then you see Brian Uno to the far left over there with the gold jersey, and you got Nicholas coming up on the outside trying to see who he's going to work for, and Ronnie Chalk told him no, so you'll see Nicholas shoot up to the front. I think he's going to then try to work for Brian Uno. Hey, it is what it is. You see here Dustin Benedict, he's up, and Dustin Benedict has been doing a fantastic job this year. Dustin is an older rider. He's older than me, but he's out here grinding. He's riding local. I see on Strava, I see on Facebook, I see on Instagram. That guy, Dustin Benedict, he is out there grinding and getting it in. You see here Wes Morgan on my rear tire. You see, again, we're moving up, so there you see the pain face of Dustin as we're making making our way coming up to turn number 4. And so right now, all is well, doing really good. I'm sitting here on Nicholas's wheel. My heart rate's at 177, just over 200 watts. Speed is 26 miles an hour. This is a little bit of a down section as we come through the start finish. Was doing 98 revolutions per minute. Coasting, gonna coast a little bit here just in a moment, but they're hammering. So now you see me coasting, and just to stay relevant, no need for me to pedal unless I'm ready to move up. But again, my momentum can carry me up a little bit forward, but I want to stay right where I'm at. I don't want to move up too soon. And as you all know before, in other commentators I told you all, that is something that I'm working on, being confident, moving closer to the front, like literally the top 5 riders confident, so that I don't care about what's going on behind me, but I'm yet focused on what's going on in front of me, so that I can go and get that podium, if you know what I mean. Because your boy is hungry, but humble. I'm hungry, but humble. Remember that. It's okay to be hungry. It's okay to be confident, but don't be cocky. So I am hungry, but humble. So right now I'm sitting behind Kelly Boone and Nicholas. And again, I'm trying to find that draft where the wind is blowing, just so I know where to be. And so of course, Nicholas is going up to the front. So I come over here behind Brian Uno. And again, Brian Uno, he's in the gold jersey. So that's a great wheel to be sitting on, with us roughly having just under 10 minutes to go in this race. So we have about 8 minutes and 50 seconds left going on in this race. You got Seth going underneath right there. And so right now, just sitting on Brian Uno's wheel and just enjoying the journey. 225 is Frederick, which is actually sitting in front of Kelly, and I've been calling him Byron. So Frederick, I apologize for calling you Byron earlier on, but that is Frederick, ladies and gentlemen, 225 of D9 DNA CBS Racing. So again, we have Wesley Morgan behind me. We got Dustin Benedict. He's hammering. He's coming on up to the front, and I'm just again staying on Brian Uno's wheel. We got Kelly on the outside, and again, I applaud the women for their determination and their fight to race these bicycles and to be out here with us men. You know what? I don't look at them any different. I actually probably look at them more than I will look at us, because, you know, it's expected for us men to be out here competing and elbowing one another, but to have the women out here doing it and grinding it out and racing and being competitive, that's an awesome thing. So again, I love my women bicycle racers. I appreciate every single one of y'all for coming out here, strapping on them cleats, putting on that helmet, strapping on the gloves, mounting that bike, and getting it in with the ladies. But at the same time, those of you that brave to come and ride with the men, again, Strava kudos to every single one of you. I appreciate you all. So right now, again, I'm just sitting on Brian Uno's wheel. I have nothing to say about that. No better place to be than on the person who's leading the series, his wheel. So I'm right now sitting on Brian Uno's wheel and just seeing what's going to take place as we're coming up, especially to the end of this race. We have roughly now just over 7 minutes left in this race. So you see Brian Uno out the wheel, you see Dustin Benedict in front of me, and of course I'm going to go underneath just to move up a little bit. So now I'm wanting to move up because I know Ronnie Chalk is a good wheel to follow. And again, you see here Brian Uno just comes right over the top of me, and I jump right back on his wheel. But you see there's a little gap behind me, and so sometimes I can kind of feel when there's nobody behind me. And I think at this moment in the race, I felt like there was some extra wind and some extra room behind me at that moment. So if you look in the rear camera, you see that there's a gap, but you see that they're closing that down right now. So but there was a little bit of a gap as we came up through turn number 3. So you see Brian Uno going on the inside, you see Wes Morgan come up on that. I just cut off Dustin Benedict, but everything was good. Passing Jake Wells right now. And then we have, I believe that is, not sure who that is going up the road. I want to say that could be Nicholas. It might be Nicholas going up to the front. But right now around me, you have John, Peter Verth, Wes Morgan, Kevin, Brian Uno. You got up there in the 232, up in front of Brian Uno, that is Stephen Brown. And as I've also stated in commentatings before, birds of a feather flock together. Those people that are going to be active in the race are really going to be around the same location because they're all watching one another. And that's what I've learned. Like, there's 36 people in this race. I got Jake Wells to my left right now. There's 36 people in this race, but I know I haven't called all 36 of them by name. Why? Some of them have dropped off. Some of them are hanging out in the back. But you see the people, the names that I continue to repeat, they're up here in the same vicinity that I am, and we're all moving around, and I'm sitting on different people's wheels, and I'm picking where I'm going to go and what route I'm going to take. Like now, I'm sitting on Jake Wells's wheel. I think this is my first time sitting on his wheel, but he's been around me, whether behind me, to the side of me, or whatever. But I'm sitting behind him and Peter Verth. So amazing. But yes, as I mentioned just a minute ago, there are 36 racers in this event, and I mentioned in the first commentary, the 4-5, I said that I got 9th of 36. That was wrong. So correction right here. I actually got 9th of 50 in the first race, 9th of 50, and then the second race I got 11 of 70, and then this is the third race, and I'll let you know what I got of 36 if you hang on with me. So again, thank you for your time. Thank you for sitting here and listening to me talk about bicycle racing, talking about this California bicycle racing event, 7 of 7, the finale event. And this is this is the last 3-4 race of this series, as I mentioned before. So right here you got Daniel coming underneath. I believe you got Nazareth on his wheel, and then you have Dustin Benedict on Nazareth's wheel as I'm sitting now behind Wes Morgan. Now I jump in again, kind of cut Dustin off. It's not intentional. Dustin's just in the right places, and I'm wanting to be where he's at, and I'm able to get in that gap safely. As you guys can see, nothing bad happened. So Dustin, don't take any of that personal, brother, because it surely is not intended. But again, sitting on Nazareth's wheel, and we're making our way to the start finish to close out another lap down. I believe we have a few laps to go. We have like 3 minutes to go. So I believe we're coming up on the last 2 laps, if this is not the last lap. So right now, you see we got Seth right there. I believe this is Jose right in front of me. And hey, it's the same old. As we get closer to the last laps, we got John right there, 2:15, Seth right there in the Hit Squad kit to my left. And so as you all know now, as we get to the last few laps of the race, you see Jake Wells going up. The races get real sketchy because people are now are being very territorial. They don't want to let go of their positioning. They're watching who's moving up. You see Indy right here. He's in the green jersey. So I believe he wanted to stay in that green jersey. Then you got Peter Verth. Everybody were trying to get good positions because they're also giving out money. They're giving, hey, you get things for top 15 in these races. So if you, for the series, if you're top 15, you get paid out from, I believe, from like $500 all the way down to $36. I got a check from the 4-5 race for $36. Hey, amazing, because I think I got like 10th or something like that. So like 10th to 15th got $36. That's gas. That's a race entry. That's good money for the day. So I took that very happy about that. Again, second year racing, getting checks, getting medals, getting on the podiums. Total success for this year, and I'm excited about it. But right now, I'm sitting behind Furman as we got Dustin Benedict to my right, and you see Ronnie Chalk over there to my left about 11 o'clock now. He's sitting behind Kevin. You got Seth going up on the outside, 203. I'm not sure if I got 203's number down, but he's rolling with Big Orange right here to my right. You see Peter Verth underneath there. And again, I had this race, and then after this race, there was Manhattan Beach, and you all have seen the Manhattan Beach vlogger video, as well as you saw the Manhattan Beach commentated video. Thank you again for your love there. I appreciate all the views. Again, all the new subscribers, I really thank you for joining the family, and I ask that you would share the videos, share the word about this channel so that we can get more people to the Crit With Roadrunner family. I got merch on Teespring. Please go down in the description below, look at the Teespring link, and I ask that you would click that link, and I ask that you would go get you the first ever Crit With Vision t-shirt. And I believe we're coming, this is the last lap. It's coming, we're coming hot. We got Irvin right there. You got Ryan Voth making his way to the front. And yeah, so go to Teespring and get you some merch. I said in the vlogger video that I wanted to be close to Steve Brown in the end, and I wanted to follow him. I have done that, successfully done it. I wanted to finish, get top 10, wanted to win. I wanted to get a top 10 finish so I can be eligible to cat up soon to category 3. And I also mentioned that I wanted to be on Steve Brown's wheel coming to the close. So right now we're coming to the close. I got Wes Watanabe to my left. I'm sitting behind, not Wes Watanabe, I'm sorry, Wes Morgan to my left. I'm sitting behind Steve Brown. We just passed Indy. I got Irvin to my right side right here. We got Peter Voth just up there about 11 o'clock. Coming through turn number 3. I'm sitting on Steve Brown's wheel, and it's about to get real. Steve Brown's out the saddle. I'm following his move. I cut off Indy. I get up there. Steve Brown is going to the front. I'm out the saddle, chasing that down, hitting over 900 watts. I believe I hit 1,100 watts in that. I come up to the front. I'm in front of the peloton. You see that right now, looking at the rear camera. I got Brian Uno here to my left. Again, legs get tired, hitting the 100. Now I'm coasting now, so I sit on Brian Uno's wheel. We come through turn number 4. We got Ryan Voth falling off to the right. I jump on Brian Uno's wheel. He comes out sprinting, still got power there. I don't really have much left, but I come out the saddle, hit just over 600 watts right here. Jake Wells beats me to the line. I get 7th of 36, ladies and gentlemen. 7th of 36. Thank you for watching. Please comment, like, subscribe. On to the next one with your boy, C-Dub, a.k.a. Crit Whit. Peace.